ever worked with is Mr. Visconti. Yes, well, that leading us to the question I was going to put, I've worked with some very good ones. John Huston is very, very good. I worked with Carol Reed. He's very, very fine. Carol Reed is more concerned with physical imagery. He's got a great sense of style. He's good with actors, but he doesn't spend a great deal of. For over half a century, Burt Lancaster was considered Hollywood's most powerful and enigmatic icon. But behind the heroic roles, Burt Lancaster lived a life full of contradictions and untold secrets. The never-before-seen private photos below reveal a completely different Burt Lancaster, a man of immense desire and complexity. From photos of the infamous large-scale 250-guest party involving an A-list star, the mysterious female assistant squad accompanying him on every flight, to the political statements that prompted an FBI surveillance order. He even once saved a famous actress's life, only for that same woman to leave him forever. What's the story behind these photos? And what was it about Burt Lancaster's personality that made everyone say he was absolutely terrible? 1. The little-known truth. Burt Lancaster and the FBI ghost after the Crimson Pirate. In 1952, Hollywood was consumed by political tension and fierce censorship. Amidst this, Burt Lancaster, the renowned action star and symbol of American strength, suddenly fell under the special attention of the federal government. The reason wasn't a violation of the law, but simply a line of dialogue in a film. In The Crimson Pirate, the adventure film that Lancaster himself produced and starred in, there was a seemingly harmless scene. His character praised the working man, asserting they were the true soul of the world. That line quickly spread through the press and reached J. Edgar Hoover, the notorious FBI director who was then running a campaign to control the ideology of artists. According to backstage sources, Hoover was displeased with the film's message and put Lancaster under long-term surveillance. While there's no evidence of him being directly questioned, many in the industry believed Lancaster's phones and mail began to be monitored, and his film projects were continuously scrutinized. Years later, recalling that period, Lancaster simply said, "I just believe that everyone deserved respect. If that made me misunderstood, perhaps America should look at itself." That moment marked a turning point in his career, from an action star to an opinionated artist who dared to defend his beliefs in an era when freedom of speech was a luxury. If the first story revealed a Burt Lancaster who dared to confront the establishment with a single line of dialogue, the next photo is even more astonishing. It's an image from an opulent, brightly lit party, where Lancaster inadvertently revealed a secret he never wanted to mention. Chapter 2, the 250-guest gay party. When Burt Lancaster and Rock Hudson were swept into the decade's biggest scandal. In 1960, as Hollywood was still struggling under a veneer of conservatism, a sensational incident rocked the film industry: a police raid on a luxury mansion in the Los Angeles Hills. This location was rumored to be the site of a massive private gay party with over 250 guests. Archival sources and industry gossip reveal an astonishing guest list, from actors and directors to influential figures in the military. What shocked the public were the two names rumored to be on that list: Burt Lancaster and Rock Hudson. The mansion, allegedly owned by a discreet producer, frequently hosted these closed soirees for Hollywood's elite. Witnesses recounted that on that night, music and alcohol flowed limitlessly, lasting from dusk till dawn. Although guests had to surrender their phones to security, a group of tabloid reporters secretly took a series of photos with sensational headlines like, "A swimming pool full of major stars." There is no direct evidence that Lancaster or Hudson were questioned, but the event caught the attention of J. Edgar Hoover. Under his orders, the FBI opened a surveillance file. In internal documents, the two actors were listed as having a moral influence issue. This event was never officially publicized. Film studios spent tens of thousands of dollars to bury the news, ensuring that no photos were ever printed. But within the industry, the rumor lives on. It was the 250 guest party, organized on the most terrifying scale imaginable. Rock Hudson continued to keep his private life secret until his death from AIDS in 1985, and Burt Lancaster, once considered the dream of millions of girls, carried that secret throughout his life. If the 250 guest party was the incident that shook all of Hollywood, the next photo takes all suspicion to a new level. The censored scene in From Here to Eternity, the secret of Lancaster's true life. The passionate kiss between Burt Lancaster and Deborah Kerr, set amidst the crashing waves in the classic film From Here to Eternity, 1953, is one of the most celebrated cinematic images, an eternal symbol of heterosexual romance. However, what the public didn't know was that the film itself concealed a massive secret about censorship and even Lancaster's own identity. The film was adapted from James Jones's novel of the same name. The original book contained many bold elements, including a gay subplot. Yet, when Hollywood adapted it for the screen, all such elements were completely removed under the strict censorship pressures of the time. What few realize is that the cut scenes partially mirrored the conflicts and secrets of Burt Lancaster's private life. According to documents later revealed by Vanity Fair and some FBI archives, Lancaster was once monitored for unusual intimacy with men. The documents show he was observed visiting several discreet men's clubs in Los Angeles and Rome. Furthermore, a recent social media post described Lancaster as having a greater tendency to love men, based on accounts from a few close friends. Later, his daughter also stated that her father went through periods of mental stress from having to hide himself for so long. In 1950s Hollywood, a rumor about one's sexuality could destroy a career. Lancaster knew this well, and he chose silence. Therefore, the kiss between him and Deborah Kerr was not just a classic romantic moment on screen, but a high-stakes performance by a man trying to prove to the world that he was normal. And perhaps, amidst the sound of the waves, Burt Lancaster wasn't just kissing Deborah Kerr. He was trying to kiss goodbye to the true self he was forced to bury. If the kiss in From Here to Eternity was the moment he tried to hide his true self, the next picture exposed what Hollywood couldn't control: the mysterious women surrounding him, the mysterious assistant squad, and the romantic rumors around Burt Lancaster. Burt Lancaster had a private life fraught with rumors, particularly concerning his female assistant squad throughout the 1950s. At the time, Lancaster was married to Norma Anderson and had founded his own production company. However, the media began to buzz about his group of special assistants, including makeup artists, costumers, production staff, and personal secretaries, all young, extremely alluring, and beautiful women who consistently accompanied him on every business trip. The tabloid press of the era described them as the mysterious girls always by Burt's side. Sources from the sets of The Crimson Pirate and Trapeze also revealed his habit of taking multiple female assistants out to dinner or on business trips, considered unusual for stars of his time. Romantic rumors spread when a European journalist claimed Lancaster had an intimate relationship with the legendary actress Marlene Dietrich. Although there was no concrete evidence, behind-the-scenes photos showing their intimacy at film parties in Rome and Paris further fueled suspicion. In 1950s Hollywood, where the image of the perfect star guaranteed box office success, an A-list actor involved in a scandal with dozens of women was anathema. To protect his image, the studios often had to discreetly arrange for these female assistants to be rotated or quietly removed from the production. However, the rumors about the